Okay guys, welcome to your Fundsbox tutorial. We're going to aim to draw your Fundsbox in Sketchup, so it should look something like this. You can see that we've got the curves put in the top, we've got a little depression here, we've got the coin slot that's nice and centered, and we've got our little channels on the sides here for the acrylic that we normally put in. And under here you can see a base that has a hole in it and a sliding component. So we're going to aim to draw all of those. So if I just go File, New, I'll start a new job. We're then going to get the rectangle tool and we're going to click and drag out and we're going to type 15, 180. Put the little rectangle, we'll zoom in on it. We'll get the select tool, triple click it till it goes blue. So click, 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 right click it and say make component. Okay, that looks good. Now to edit the component, we have to click into it. Now the reason we're using components is because it helps SketchUp have things that don't stick to each other. So you can draw these components and move them around and they won't stick to the next piece. So that's really helpful. So we're just going to double click onto it, get our little lines, our dots, sorry, I should say, and we're going to click up 90 millimeters. Okay, so we've got our side piece there. We then get our tape measure tool and click up and drag a line up for 10 millimeters. On that guide point, put a rectangle that is 3,9 millimeters. Okay, so we see I've got our bounding box around us, which is good. We're allowed to edit it. We're going to double click on that till we get the dotted box, get the push pull tool, and drag that across, hover over that back edge so it cuts all the way through. Okay, looking good. Now we can hit spacebar or get the select tool and select in white space so it deselects it. That's what we want. We now need to make the base. So we're going to get the tape measure tool and just tell SketchUp where we want that base to start. So we're going to come across here 12 millimeters, and we should get a little guide point that's just there. It's a bit hard to see, but you can see the black dot. Hover over it until you find it. There it is. Drag it out and type 156,3. Okay, now we're left with the box that's sitting in the middle. We're going to triple click it till it all goes blue. Right click it and say make component. Then double click back into it. Click the face to get some dots. Get the push pull tool and drag that out 64 millimeters. Okay, we've got our base there. Now we get the select tool and double click in the white space to deselect it. Click on it and then get the move tool. We want to come across this back corner and come across here. See how we've got the little red dots? That means it's staying on the red axis. So it's just going to move out nice and flat so it won't go any weird angles. We're going to come out 20 millimeters. This just moves it away from this piece so we can continue working on it. Okay. We're now going to double click into the job till we get a bounding box, and that lets us edit it. We get our tape measure tool, and we're just going to come across here and we're going to measure into the middle. So you see a little dot there went up. So the middle is 78. And then we're going to draw the center of this square by putting in diagonals. So from corner to corner, corner to corner. We then get our circle tool and wait for it to hover over the middle. The square will come up and we can drag it out 25 millimeters, a radius of 25 to give us a hole of 50. Then we'll get the spacebar, hit spacebar or hit the select tool and select the job, get the push pull tool and push that hole all the way through. So hover over this bottom edge and it just cuts. Good. Okay, we can now double click out of that or just single click, sorry, so it deselects it. We get our move tool and we grab this corner, we drag it across the red axis and we just type 20, enter. Now that'll deposit it back into this space, so it's waiting for the next piece. All right, the next thing we want to do is draw in our little piece, so it's pretty easy. We're just going to come across to this lower corner, click and drag out so it's red, and then type 3, 90. We're left with this square. We're going to triple click it and make it a component. Double click back into it. We get our dots, push pull tool, and drag it out 64 millimeters. Okay, we've got our base there. We've got our sliding component. We're starting to look good. We'll double click out of that. So hit spacebar, I'll get the select tool and click out of it so we're not working on it anymore. And then we're going to get our rectangle tool. We're going to come across this bottom corner, and just so we can tell SketchUp, hey, I'm interested in this bottom corner, we're going to hover over it, and then you can see a little sets of dots come up and it stays on the green axis. That's what we want. Just click out into the white space and draw on the red axis. Draw it 90, 3. Sorry, not 90, 3. Draw it 90, 15. Okay, my bad. All right, now we're going to double click that, triple click it, sorry, right click it, say make component, hit create. Double click back into it, click on it, get the push pull tool, and pull it out 60. Okay, we've done that. That looks good. Now we need to put our channels in. So we're going to come across here to the bottom, measure up 10 millimeters till the guide point sets there, 10 millimeters. All right, that looks good. We then get our rectangle tool, hover over the guide point, pull it up on the red axis, and type 9, 3 for a 9 mil by 3 mil square. We're going to do the same on the other side, 9, 3. And we're going to click on that and get the push-pull tool and click and drag it across that other side. Do the same on this side. Click and drag it across that other side. Okay, that looks good. The next thing we'll do is just select that in white space to deselect that. We don't need that anymore. And we're going to grab this corner here. We're just going to lift it and drag it onto this corner here. Looking good. So we can see that it's lining up and we can see our base sticks out a little bit, waiting for the other side, which is good. Now, rather than drawing that twice, what we can do is just use the move tool. This time we're going to grab this corner. We're going to select it, drag it across, and then tap Control. That'll give you a copy, and then let it sit on this bottom corner. All right, now we've got 2 pieces ready to go. All right, now what we need to do is get the move tool, grab this corner, and then drag it across, hit Control to get a copy. And we've got the other side there now. But obviously the channel's on the wrong side. So we just need to get the rotate tool and sit it in the middle and come across to this edge. Oops, not that. We want the blue axis. All right, we're going to spin it around and then get the move tool and grab this bottom corner and drag it off to the edge. So you can see here we've got our little channel coming out now and our sides are still there, so that looks good. All right, just to make it look a bit cleaner, we'll just go Edit, Delete Guides, make it a bit nicer to look at. So the next thing we do is grab our rectangle tool and click and drag. It should be a 180 by 90 rectangle for the top. Triple click it and say Make Component. Say Create. Double click into it as always, and then click it again. Get the push-pull tool. Click and drag up 19 millimeters. Okay, we're doing well. The next thing we do is come across to this top corner, measure back 40 millimeters. Do the same on this side, 40 millimeters. We then get the arc tool, the 2-point arc tool, sorry. We're going to click that side, we're going to click this side, and we're going to draw an arc that looks about right. That looks good. We'll do the other side. Looking good. Get the push-pull tool, drag across those sides, and do the same on the other side. Okay, that looks good. We've got our overall shape done now, which is great. With it still selected, we now need to mark out the spot for that circle depression. So we're going to click each corner and make diagonals, like we did with the base. And we're left with a center mark. We're then going to click on the middle and drag out, and we're going to make it, hold on, sorry, we'll try that again. Click on the middle, drag it out 27 millimeters. Okay, that's a radius. The next thing we do, we need to mark out the slot. So we're going to come across here, come on this bottom edge and click up, go on the red axis, type 50. Do the same on the other side, come back on the red axis, type 50. Okay, looking good. The next thing we'll do is just come into the middle here, click and drag out on the green axis, 20 millimeters. We'll do the same on the other side, 20 millimeters. Now to make the arc, we need to give it a center point. So we need to come back. The width of this is 10. So we need to come back 5, which is half of 10. Guide point gets placed, 5. And then get our arc tool, which is that one. Click on the guide point, click across to the edge, and then drag the half circle around. Do the same on here, on the guide point, drag it around until you get a half circle. Get the line tool, connect up the dots, make sure it's got a little green dot there. If it gets stuck, hit escape to deselect it. Okay, drawing a line, looking good. Now we can push that shape all the way through. So I'll just grab the push-pull tool, and we're going to select that, and we're going to come across this base here until we get a little red dot. There it goes, little red square, I should say, and click, and that would have cut all the way through, which it has. Cool. Next thing I do is just come on this and drag it down 3 millimeters. So that's pretty easy. We then choose Edit, Delete Guides. Okay, that's looking good, guys. Now we just need to color it in. So get a paint bucket tool, choose something that looks about right, and paint it in. And then on the bottom, our base can be a darker color because that's kind of what the plywood was like. Okay. All right. That's it, guys. I hope that that was helpful for you. So just have a go and enjoy. Thanks very much. Bye.